Hi, my name's Chris and welcome to Brimbank Library's Life Skills video series. Today I'm joined by Helen and we're here to talk about renting. So what is a lease? Why is it important for me to know about?
Okay. A lease is a legal document that's offered by a landlord or a real estate agent to potential tenants. It'll state the conditions of the tenancy, both for the tenant and the landlord. It's really important to have a lease. It protects the term you want to stay at the property for. If your lease is for 12 months, then they can't move you out before the 12 months if you abide by the terms and the conditions of the lease.
All right. What is a bond?
A bond, okay. So the bond is a set of money. It's usually 4 weeks equivalent of the rent. A bond is paid before the tenant receives keys to a property. It is an surety if there's any monies outstanding, or if there's any damage, or if there's any costs the landlord has to incur at the end of your tenancy. Then the landlord can claim the bond through VCAT to make up for his losses.
All right. And what is a property condition report?
Property condition report. People underestimate the importance of a property condition report. The condition report is offered to a tenant as they're moving into a property. The condition report is 2 parts. Before the real estate agent hands the keys over to the tenant, they will inspect the property, and on this condition report, which is listed room by room, they will list any damage or any faults of the property. Once the real estate has finished and the tenant has moved in, the tenant then takes the same condition report and fills out the second part. And if the real estate agent has not captured the condition of the property accurately, the tenant can then write it down and contradict it. What will happen is when you move out of the property, they will refer to the condition report. So if, for example, there was a hole in the wall when you moved in, if you haven't listed it on your condition report, then they will most likely ask you to pay to repair that hole. So it's really important you mark down everything that's right and wrong with the property in your condition report to protect yourself as a tenant.
Exactly. What are my expectations as a landlord, and what are my rights as a tenant?
As a tenant, you have the right to live in the property in a quiet and peaceful manner. You have the right for the property to be maintained at a comfortable level. You have the right to ask landlords for repairs. For example, if your heater breaks down, then you have the right to ask this landlord to repair this heater. You have the right to have the real estate agents or the landlords treat you with respect, and you have the right to expect them to follow the guidelines of the Tenancy Act.
All right.
Yeah.
And what are the expectations of a landlord, and what can I ask of them?
Okay. Landlords generally expect you to pay your rent on time as you committed on your lease, because on your lease it'll have a start date and how much your rent is due, and they expect you to pay your rent on time. The landlord has the right to expect you to not damage his property, to not run any illegal activities at his property. The landlord has the right to expect you to sustain and maintain his property while you're living in it.
All right. And what is renter's insurance?
Okay, renter's insurance. Renter's insurance is insurance that the landlord will pay for and take out. It will be his policy. The renter's insurance will cover the landlord in case of any damage to the property that he can't afford to repair himself. He can apply for his renter's insurance to reimburse him if there's rent arrears. It's a backup for him financially if the tenants have caused him financial hardship.
And where can tenants go for further help and support?
Good question. A lot of tenants don't realise how much support there is out there for tenants. The two main organisations is Consumer Affairs Victoria and Tenants Victoria. You can call them on the phone. They will give you advice. It doesn't matter how small or how big your problem is. If you need further assistance, they will refer you to an advocate such as myself through the Tenancy Assistance and Advocacy Program. It's Victoria-wide, and the advocates will then be able to assist you if there's VCAT. They can advocate for you, they can prepare you. But very important to know that Tenants Victoria and Consumer Affairs Victoria are there to answer all your questions.
Thank you, Helen, for joining us, and thanks as well for joining us for our Brimbank Libraries Life Skills video series. Be sure to check out the other videos on our Brimbank Libraries YouTube channel. Thank you.